All right, so this is what's going on. They give you the beginning, they give you the started, and they give you the completed. It's called transferred out. He uses different words sometimes. So completed means transferred out. So basically what this means is since they give you the completed amount of 30,000, so we got our uh, 10,000 there, and then the started was 25, and then you transferred out 30. So that's where I'm getting those numbers from, and then from there, because this number has to equal 25 or 35, I'm sorry. Let's see, 35. The ending balance will be $5,000. And then for the painting assembly, this completed, this will be the transferred in will be 30,000. And then for painting they give you the 8,000, and then then it's 38, and then I believe they give you the completed amount again. Yeah, they give you the completed amount. Yeah, that 35 right there. So once they give you the completed amount, you can use that, and then you only have a ending WIP to find because this number has to match this number. And basically, I don't mean to confuse you even more, but basically what I do is a little different. I use this formula. It looks like this. It's beginning plus started. I use new. Gives you available minus ending. Gives you transferred out. So it's like this. So beginning work in process. And you add your started. Gives you your goods available for sale. And then if you subtract your ending inventory, it'll give you the transferred out or 100% complete. It's the exact same as this. The only thing that's going differently is this is the goods available for sale, and then instead of calculating an extra number here, I just subtract ending WIP to get the completed amount. That's all that's going on. With all this is all the same stuff, but basically that's what I got going on. So then I start out with number one. They give you the completed amount. So we started out with the 30,000. They give that to you. Then we had to calculate ending inventory, and then they added at beginning. So it's 100% ending inventory. So your ending inventory will be the 5,000, and then you go to 35,000 equivalent units, so forth, and then yada yada. You got your beginning and your current cost. You get that, divide them by the 30 or by the equivalent units to get the equivalent unit or the price per cost per equivalent unit, price per equivalent unit, whatever. Find your completed amount, and that will give you the completed amount for this specific assembly process, and then it gets transferred to the painting. So like what I got going on here is see how I had that I'm sorry, see how we have this 170, see how it like this 30 gets transferred. Well, that's essentially what's getting transferred to the next to the next to the next process. So that's why you're using this completed amount here, because once you complete it, it gets transferred to the next one. So then that's how we calculate these numbers. So then we already did the beginning plus this started gives you available minus your ending gives you the transferred out. This is the transfer out amount. Going back to this one, same thing. I mean, we did it here. This is the completed amount like we did in class. This is the ending balance. This is the goods available for sale. It's just a little different. It's nothing too crazy. I'm sure you understand that. So once you get that amount, you're going to have transferred in costs now, and like you did in class, you write your completed, your ending inventory. We don't have spoilage, so we don't have to worry about that. So we completed 35,000. We completed 35,000 because if you look in the actual assignment, the painting is transferred out 35. Transferred out 35. So transferred out, this is completed. Transferred out is the same thing as completed. This is why I don't like his method. This is why I use a different method. Personally, he uses different verbiage, different vocab. Transferred out is the same thing as completed. I don't know why he doesn't state that in class. I used it in class and he was telling me it's wrong. So whatever, besides the point. So yeah, you get the equivalent units. the transferred in amount for the equivalent units, don't forget that 3,000 is always going to be ending inventory, because like this is the last process. You're not going to transfer anything out of the last process. So like the ending inventory will be completed, or it will be part of the equivalent units, and it's going to be the whole amount. And then added at the end, it's zero ending inventory for direct materials. They said that in the problem. So once you get that done, you go down to this the direct material cost and the conversion and transferred in. So they give you the transferred in, the 45,200. So they give you that 45,200 right in there because it's transferred in. And so when they give you the transferred in cost, you just throw that in the beginning. That's just essentially what's going to happen. And then the current. So since you finished this 170 from the previous, that's why you're taking it, because this is completed. So you're transferring it to the new one, and you want to allocate those costs properly. You don't want to just let them be. So then you get the total, divide it to get the equivalent cost per equivalent unit, multiply each completed amount by the cost per equivalent unit, and once you do that, you'll get the total for what you actually completed for that process, and you're going to transfer that to finished goods. And then that's when you get your ending. You don't really need it. You really need to do it for spoilage, and then this will be your journal entry. But I really hope that makes sense. I mean, that's like the only way that I can really explain it, is because like this 30,000 units it's completed, so it's transferred out to the transfer in, which is painting, and it's the started amount, so that's why it's the 30, and then you multiply that 30 times your each equivalent unit, like that's what we had up here, to get that transferred out amount to the next process, and that's the current transferred in cost, if that makes sense to kind of wrap it back up. But it might be a little bit more than an explanation than you needed, but hopefully that kind of makes sense.